The world is still trying to understand what these things are. Creatures that shouldn't exist, entities that don't follow rules, not of science, not of nature, and definitely not of reason. In part 1, we explored some of the most hostile beings known to us in the Trevor Henderson universe, monsters that hunt, mimic, and erase. But there are more. This is part 2. We're diving deeper into the forgotten corners, the sightings no one survived, the things only caught in corrupted photos and unfinished sentences. Some of these beings hide in plain sight, others crawl from signals, from screens, and from silence. Each one more unpredictable, more impossible to understand. As before, we'll be focusing only on canon creatures for now, with a few notorious non-canon horrors included at the end as a special feature. We'll examine how dangerous they really are, and whether survival is even remotely possible. If you've come back for more, then you already know. These things aren't just stories, they're warnings. And the closer we look, the more we risk being seen. Welcome back to the Trevor Henderson universe. Concrete underpass, empty, quiet, but something's breathing behind the darkness, something long, grotesque. I think it's just a tunnel, but it's not the bridge you need to be worried about, it's what's living beneath it. Bridgeworm is a massive, grotesque entity that is known to reside under bridges, tunnels, and overpasses. At first glance, it appears almost comical, a long, pale body with a smiling face near the front, but that face is just a decoy. A mask. Hidden beneath that harmless grin is its true face. A gaping skeletal maw lined with needle-like teeth and deep, lifeless eyes. Its body is snake-like and impossibly long, capable of twisting through tight spaces or stretching down the length of an entire overpass. Bridgeworm lies still for hours, even days, waiting for someone to wander too close to its hiding spot. Once the victim is in range, the fake face lifts, revealing the nightmare beneath, and then it strikes. Bridgeworm isn't the most intelligent entity, but its sheer size, stealth, and speed make it incredibly lethal. It uses deception and patience to lure people in, and when it moves, it's fast. Unnaturally fast for something its size. Victims are often swallowed whole before they even have a chance to scream. Stay away from abandoned tunnels, isolated bridges, or overpasses in rural areas, especially ones that feel strangely quiet or unusually cold. If you see a strange face staring at you from the shadows beneath a bridge, never approach. That smile isn't there to comfort you, it's there to keep you still. Bridgeworm doesn't chase, it waits, so if you ever feel like something is watching you from under a road, trust your instincts and leave. If you spot a fake face and realize what it is before it moves, you might escape, but most don't. The creature's size and speed leaves little room for error, and once its real face is revealed, your time is up. A brightly lit hallway, a door left open. Something inside is smiling, not with joy, but with hunger. Some creatures stalk, some wait. This one doesn't need to move at all. You come to it. The smile room appears as an ordinary doorway, except it's not a room at all. It's a massive living mouth stretching deep into darkness, lined wall to wall with countless human-like teeth. The frame of the door is fleshy and unnatural, often twitching or pulsating slightly, and from a distance, it almost seems inviting, until you get too close. The smile room is more than just a creature, it's a cosmic predator. It appears as a doorway, but what waits beyond isn't a room. It's a living wormhole, connected to a decaying mouth of a massive eldritch being from another reality. Anything that enters is completely destroyed, almost like being pulled into a black hole. It can manifest in any neglected or empty room, changing the space to fit its needs. Once it finishes feeding in one location, it vanishes and moves on, leaving behind almost no trace. One of the earliest known sightings was in 2006 when two teens disappeared in Oshawa, Ontario after breaking into an abandoned bowling alley. A friend later found a phone with a photo of the Smiling Room, but when police investigated, the room no longer existed. If the Smile Room fails to catch prey, it can create parasitic, ambulatory hosts, strange, mobile forms that infect humans and slowly turn them into new Smile Room hosts. These hosts are rarely seen and their behavior remains mostly unknown, but they ensure that the creature can continue hunting. Some scenes linked to Smile Room sightings have contained organic traces of saliva-like fluid, as if something massive had just fed. Trevor has hinted that the entity behind the Smile Room is near death, kept only alive by persistence and its instinct to feed. This slow decay, a result of entropy, explains why it continues hunting, even in its weakened state. Avoid entering unmarked doors in abandoned buildings, malls, or subterranean structures. If a door appears where one shouldn't be, especially one that's too dark, oddly clean, or strangely quiet, don't open it. If you hear laughter with no source, or feel drawn toward a doorway for no reason, turn back immediately. This entity relies entirely on curiosity and proximity. The further away you stay, the safer you are. In short, the Smile Room is a dying cosmic horror that manifests in forgotten spaces, destroys anything it consumes, and leaves almost nothing behind. If you see it, don't go in. Don't even look. Just run. Some creatures are made, some are born, but this one was simply left behind. Forgotten Baby, aka the Pink Man, is a towering, grotesque humanoid infant. Its body is bloated and malformed, skin stretched too tightly, eyes sunken and lifeless, limbs too long to belong to anything innocent. Its origins are unclear, but its first known manifestation may be tied to a mysterious fire that destroyed a local hospital. After the fire, only the maternity ward was left unrestored, and no explanation was ever given. It's believed this abandoned space is linked to the Pink Man, possibly the place where it was forgotten, or the first place it reached through. Over time, the Pink Man has grown significantly in size. The caption on the second image states that it has grown noticeably larger since its earlier unconfirmed sighting. This implies it may be feeding, evolving, or becoming more powerful with each victim it takes. What truly sets the Pink Man apart is what Trevor Henderson later confirmed. He wants to kidnap you and trap you in the static between television channels. Exactly how this happens remains unknown, but it implies the Pink Man doesn't just exist in the physical world. It uses static, distortion, and the empty signals between reality to reach its victims. How to avoid it? You cannot. The Pink Man is classified in the too late tier, meaning once it chooses you, there is no escape. No one knows how it selects its victims, or how to prevent its appearance. Static, blackouts, signal interference, these may be signs, or they may be nothing. By the time you notice, it's already too late. It moves like a ghost through the woods. Some think it's a horse, others know better, because horses don't hang corpses in trees. The needle's a long-limbed quadrupedal cryptid that vaguely resembles a thin, skeletal horse. Its body is too long, its posture unnatural, its head is small and round, nearly featureless except for two close-set black dot eyes, and a massive 4-foot-long proboscis jutting from its face like a sharpened spear. It hangs downward, resembling a mouth part of a mosquito, only this one is strong enough to pierce a human body and drain it dry. Initially passive and even herbivorous, the needle once blended into its environment, grazing, traveling, and avoiding humans, but something has changed over time. It's grown more aggressive, especially towards hunters. Complaints began to surface something large lingering near tunnel exits, too quiet, too tall, and too wrong. Reports now describe increasingly violent encounters. Hunters have gone missing only to be found pinned to trees, skin hanging like an empty sack, every single drop of blood gone. It's believed the needle uses its powerful proboscis to drain its victims, possibly as a form of defense or hunger. The more it's attacked, the more it attacks in return. Avoid traveling through wooded highways, abandoned tunnel systems, or quiet Midwest back roads, especially near areas with missing animal or hunter reports. If you hear rustling ahead and see something tall and white step between branches, run. While it doesn't seek out humans without cause, provoking it or approaching it is a death sentence. Hunters are its primary target. Don't mistake it for wildlife. If you spot the needle and leave immediately, you might survive. If you hesitate or worse, attack, it will respond without mercy. One single strike is all it takes. One jab, and you're empty. Sometimes the costume doesn't come off. Sometimes it takes what's left of you and keeps walking. Mr. Mascot, also known as Costume Man, is a towering blue creature that wears the skin of a mascot. Or perhaps it is the mascot suit. It resembles a goofy furry character you might see at a fair. Big mismatched eyes, two cartoonish antennae, and a gaping, expressionless mouth. But behind that costume is something rotting. Inside its maw, a human head is partially visible, shriveled, discolored, and twisted with decay. It may be the corpse of the man who first wore the suit, or perhaps the latest victim absorbed into the body of this undead husk. Trevor Henderson's caption hints at its origin, a man who died inside the mascot suit, his body discovered days later in a state of unnatural decay. No cause of death could be found, just heat, humidity, and a slow collapse of his body. But now something wears the suit again. In his first sighting, Mr. Mascot is seen dragging a bloody corpse across the road. Whatever it is now, it kills without hesitation, and may have grown far larger than any costume should be, standing at 15 feet tall. Little is known about Mr. Mascot's full capabilities, but its intentions are clearly violent. Whether it's the restless corpse of a man who died inside of it, or a living biological monster using the costume as a camouflage, it lures victims in, cloaked in nostalgia and absurdity. Some theories suggest it might trick people into wearing the suit, turning them into the next victim. Others believe it's hunting out of rage, a mockery of the life it lost, or a creature pretending to be something harmless before striking. Avoid isolated roads, abandoned amusement parks, and areas near old event venues, especially if local legends mention a mascot suit or strange sightings of something large and blue. If you see it in the distance, do not approach. Do not assume it's a costume, and never wear a suit you find abandoned. That smile isn't friendly, it's hungry. A full moon hangs above your home, but something feels off. It's too low, too bright, and it's smiling. That isn't a moon, it's a towering, grotesque entity that looms high above rooftops. Its limbs stretched impossibly long and thin, bending unnaturally as it curves across the sky. At first glance, its glowing head might be mistaken for a full moon, but look closer, and you'll see something horribly wrong. Its face is unmistakably human-like, stretched into a wide, smug grin. Its glowing skin contrasting violently with the shadowy body that supports it. The creature leans forward as though peering into your window, silently observing or preparing to strike. Its exact height is unknown, but based on the image, it may be 30 to 50 feet tall, or even larger, towering over homes like a cosmic predator. There are no reports of attacks, no bodies, no blood, only sightings, and the overwhelming sense of being watched. It doesn't need to touch you to harm you. Just seeing it might be enough to break something in your mind. Though not much is confirmed, it's widely hypothesized to be an eldritch being, something far beyond human comprehension, capable of blinking victims out of existence entirely. No struggle, no scream, and no trace. It doesn't always attack, but when it does, it's instant, absolute, and silent. Disturbingly, it's believed to target children, drawn to the innocence, curiosity, or fear of those who gaze too long. Entire households have reported children waking up, crying, claiming the moon was looking in their window, and smiling. Avoid staring at it for too long. If it appears above your home, do not investigate. Turn off the lights, stay low, and do not acknowledge it, because if it notices that you noticed, it might come closer. This is no ordinary entity. That isn't a moon doesn't follow rules. It might not even need a move to destroy you. Your best chance? Pretend you never saw it. You don't need to touch it, you only need to be near it, and you'll start to fall apart. Flyblown is a towering, decayed humanoid form, wrapped in layers of filth, swarmed by a living storm of flies and maggots. Its face is misshapen and sagging, like flesh that's long since given up. Its presence alone carries the scent of death, and it moves with a slow, dragging limp. A body barely held together by rot and instinct. Its form is barely visible beneath the insect cloud, and what you do see, you wish you hadn't. Flyblown doesn't run, it stalks, the buzz of its swarming drowning out all other sound. The creature doesn't need to touch you to kill you, just being near it starts the process. Your body weakens, your skin softens, and you begin to decay while still alive. Your breath grows foul, your vision blurs, and your thoughts begin to unravel. Once its corruption reaches you, there is no stopping. You might run, you might hide, but it already owns your flesh. You rot from the inside out, slowly and painfully. Flyblown is drawn to life like a corpse to warmth. Does it stalk for sport? It does it because it's all it knows. There is no known motive, no pattern, just slow, rotting persistence. Some say it seeks warmth, drawn to the living like a corpse drawn to a flame. Others believe it was never alive to begin with, just a mass of filth given shape, a living infection looking for someone to cling to. Flyblown isn't fast, it doesn't need to be. By the time you smell it, you're already sick. By the time you see it, the flies are already in your lungs. Once it chooses you, once your skin begins to crawl and your breath turns sour, it's already over. You don't die, you decay. So there you have it, more of Trevor Henderson's most dangerous, haunting, and unforgettable creations. Each one a nightmare stitched into our world, waiting to be seen, waiting to be believed. But the darkness doesn't stop here. Let me know if you'd like to see a part 3, where we continue diving into the most hostile entities lurking just beyond the veil. And while that brews, I'm also working on something different, something still rooted in the Trevor Henderson universe, but twisted in a new way. You want to keep your eyes open for this one. Until then, stay inside, stay silent, and don't look out the window.